Now, this isn't a video I want to waste my time making, but when companies get greedy, I have to let you know about it at least. And listen, I'm just some idiot that likes to complain on YouTube, but I have a few people that listen to me. And today we're talking about a company that has gone beyond greedy, because I think this is the fourth video I've actually made on them this year. And we're talking about Netflix, who once again has decided to raise their prices. And it's getting a little like, it's like a game to them. They want to see how everybody's going to get pissed off about it. They already know that because people have gone pissed off on the last four changes, but they want to see how much they can piss you off before you actually cancel. And right now, it seems like the more harm they do, the more subscribers they get. So I guess handed to them for continuously getting away with it. But let's look at these price increases, and I'm also going to take you through all the changes they've done this year so you can see a bigger picture of just how fucking ridiculous this is. So let's just head over here. So we're going to head over to BBC, who has the article on it. So Netflix has raised their premium subscription again. Okay, so in the US, they raised it by $3. Yes, 53% of my subscribers and my viewer base is US. And they have raised your Netflix. So this affects most of you, the premium subscription, by $22.99 to $22.99. And I'm going to tell you why. And also in France and the UK and stuff, they did raise it as well. The UK saw a £2 increase and a £1 for what I believe is the ad-supported tier. But let me show you what the new plans look like. So as you know, they introduced standard with ads. We're going to talk about that in a second. They introduced that last year. But they also have, let me move my head here, the standard tier. Now, they used to have a cheap tier that was only $9.99, and I think it was $8.99 at some point, and that was just one device, pretty much exactly what the standard is now. But they added a few extra features, and they turned it into the standard and gave it an expensive price. Well, now they have the premium as well, which the premium used to be useful because you could use it across tons of devices. People would be sharing their password. It was a great old time. But as we know, Netflix cracked down on password sharing in 2022, 2023. And I myself, among I think a lot of different people and a lot of different creators, thought this was going to shoot Netflix in the foot. But oh, was I wrong? Was I wrong? Netflix actually added 8.8 million new users. That's right. So people were frustrated and they didn't go to another service because the fact of the matter is all these services just offer a different thing. And Netflix is probably the best when you look at overall content still. However, now that they're by far the most expensive, that's definitely up for debate. So the password sharing affected millions on millions of people. And I truly did believe this was going to end up being a net negative for Netflix, but it ended up being a net positive. And that's not the only change they made. They added Netflix's ad-supported tier, which means for a cheaper price, which, by the way, not even that much cheaper, $6.99. It used to be $8.99 without ads, right? So we're talking about $2 less. And now you don't even have that option. They ended up adding close to 5 million new people on their ad-supported tier, while I'm assuming that accounts for cancellations too. But yeah, it was another giant success. Now, with the success of the ad-supported tier, that really did one other thing, and that showed Netflix that, hey, we're making more money off ads than we are off subscriptions, so maybe we should try to push people towards getting the cheaper ad-supported option. Now, how did they do that? Well, it's actually really simple. What they did is they got rid of their basic plan and they gave a really huge gap. So now they're like, if you want standard, you're going to pay us the difference in what we would make in ads. That's essentially what they're doing with the standard plan now. It's complete horseshit. And now the premium, the only thing that it really benefits on is the 4K. And they're like, you know what? People are still going to get it for the 4K. And those people are usually the ones that can afford it, or they're not. Let's raise it $3 more. So they saw another increase. Now, my whole point on saying this is because this is the same company that complains about people illegally streaming, using apps, stuff like that. You know, they help fund Ace and the other corporations that go after third-party apps and stuff like that. And it's like, well, when you keep raising your prices, what do you really expect people to do? You expect them just to continuously pay them instead of paying something else? You know, I think Netflix, even if it went up to like $14.99 for a basic tier at some point in the future, I would still pay that. But the prices are getting so ridiculous. And I don't know about you, I really don't want to watch ads when I pay for content. If I'm getting it for free, it's a totally different ballgame. Now, what's the excuse I often get from people and, of course, from Netflix themselves? Well, we need more money to fund more content. Now, if you think Netflix is broke, you're out of your fucking mind. For one, most of their content is made in-house, although that is probably a more expensive process up front. The fact of the matter is Netflix always owns that content. And on top of that, Netflix is notorious for underpaying writers and also actors, in fact. So let's really dig into this. How broke is Netflix actually? Okay, are they actually, in this serious hurt for money? They can't create any more content. No, they're not. So during the pandemic, we all know Netflix was going to see an increase. So they actually went from by the way, this is billions, 2.7 billion in net income. We're not talking about after taxes still having to be deducted. All these 2.7 billion, right? In 2020. They saw a major increase in 2021. Again, that is very much a pandemic increase. This was no surprise. It was not sustainable. 5.1 billion. Oh, but man, did they lick their lips when they got that 5.1 billion? They're like, we're coming for it again. And when they saw that just slight decrease in 2022, because again, people were going out again. They were going to see the world. They were trying to go on with their life because the pandemic was, for the most part, at least in the media, over, right? It was done, right? We were all back to normal. So instead of being okay with these changes and saying, hey, we lost $1 billion, that's okay, not a big deal. It wasn't even $1 billion. It was like 750 million. What did they do? They blamed it on password sharing, which we all know in the past, Netflix has admitted to liking password sharing. And they also introduced ad content, which again has been another great revenue source for them. So now I have no doubt in my mind, 2023 will be Netflix's most profitable year. And I would love to tell you that this will change their approach and they'll go back to being more consumer based. But we see this time and time again. Companies come in with a great mission. What was Netflix's original mission when Blockbuster existed, etc.? I want to give people an easy way to watch content that's affordable, all in one place, a great alternative or replacement for cable TV. But as this company has grown bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, it should be no surprise to anybody. The only thing they care about is taking as many dollars out of your pocket while giving you mostly dog shit Netflix originals. And every once in a while, they come out with a banger like One Piece. So yes, thank you. Thank you, Netflix, for that. If you're looking for an easy, simple way to at the least cuck Netflix and do it with me, right? We can at least give them a little punch to their gut because there's one thing they hate more than you paying less for your service, and that is when people use a VPN. And that is fact. Netflix wants to stop the use of VPNs. I know they do. They do everything in their power so they can because they don't want you watching more content than you're allowed. So how do we do this? Down below in the description, you will see a link for ExpressVPN. This will bring you to my verified discount. You get 3 months free plus 49% off, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Now, with ExpressVPN, at any point, you can set your location. So I have it pulled up right now to anywhere in the world. So if I want to set it to New York, not a problem. If I want to go to India, I can set my virtual location to India. And this will actually go and change Netflix to have those different countries' content inside of it. So you'll get even more content at a super affordable price down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.